All right, let's get into the depth chart. Let's start on offense. We kind of talked about quarterback room already. This came from our lads, the website. So I'm going to try to give you guys an idea of what the colors mean here. Okay, so the purple or the pinkish color, that is obviously draft picks. All right, the yellow colors are free agency or trade acquisitions. Okay, so that's how they've gotten on the roster. And then the blues there, the darker blue or kind of the turquoise blue, I should say, those are the guys that are UDFAs. Okay. And again, nobody's saying this is an accurate depiction of the depth chart. This is what Our Lads has. We can cross check it with ESPN if you guys want. But I like what Our Lads did because they've got it kind of organized where you know where each of these players came from, right? As Affin points out, Jacob loves Our Lads. There you go. So, not those lads. Hey, fam, what's wrong with you?
They're my lads.
Yeah. Let's start with the quarterback room. Jordan Love, Malik Willis, Sean Clifford. Nothing crazy there. They don't even have Taylor Elgersma listed because he's not signed, guys. The fact that he's at the minicamp, that's just an open tryout. I think he's got one scheduled with the Cincinnati Bengals as well, if I remember correctly. So we've already covered quarterback pretty extensively so far. Let's go to running back now. This is how they see the running back room right now. Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lloyd second, Emmanuel Wilson third, Chris Brooks fourth. Then they got Amar Johnson and Jalen White, the two UDFAs or camp invites there.
Interesting.
So, yeah, for me personally, I'm putting Emmanuel Wilson over Marshawn Lloyd, okay? But you can bet your sweet booty that Brian Gutekunst wants Marshawn Lloyd to take that number 2 spot. There's no two ways about that.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you guys feel about the running back room? Let's start with you this time, Tim. What sticks out to you there? And you can see Amar Johnson probably going to be that practice squad guy, I would imagine.
I agree. And I feel good about the running back room, just looking at it face value right here. And I can see how, like Holmes is saying, running back room loaded. I would agree, at least loaded up enough to be deadly, right? And, you got a good balance of, like I look at Emmanuel Wilson, this is what, year 3 for him? His third year, I believe he's entering. And then you've got Josh Jacobs, who's, your veteran. And then Marshawn Lloyd, who got cheated out of his rookie year with injuries. And, I remember when we drafted him last year, talking about Lloyd, we had really high expectations for him, looking at his tape from USC and just seeing the build and, being excited about drafting a big boy back like that. And not getting to see him play last year was tough. So I can kind of see what they're doing here. They have him listed above my boy E. Wilson there, but I think it's Emmanuel Wilson's job to lose, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I think you're right. I think they're going to put a point of emphasis on Marshawn Lloyd to give him reps and give him a chance to go out there and be successful. And if he does, in fact, surpass Emmanuel Wilson for that number 2 spot, then so be it. It's a good problem to have. Those guys, to me, switching around based on the grind of a season or injuries or whatever, I mean, you can't go wrong. Emmanuel Wilson has proven these last 2 seasons that he's effective as a running back too in this offense. And then having a guy like Marshawn Lloyd that might step up and take on that role, I mean, we're that much better in the running back room. And, what can you say about Chris Brooks? We can talk about him for an hour or two, the way that he stepped up last year in a couple of key moments, actually, in some of those games. So I'm with Dr. Holmes and you guys, man. I feel like the running back room is looking pretty good right now.
Pretty good. I kind of agree with both y'all. I think that obviously we know what's going on with Jacobs, but I think at the start of the year, kind of like Tim said, Emmanuel Wilson maybe deserves and maybe has a little more trust just from what he did last season to kind of slip into that role. But I think as the season progresses, and if I had to read into what I think Matt LaFleur's ideal situation would be having obviously like the battering ram big back of Jacobs and then switching it up with a little bit lighter kind of a lightning bug style that Marshawn Lloyd has. And I watched a little more of his highlights and stuff from back in USC. The guy is electric. When he is on, he is on. And he looks like he's shot out of a cannon sometimes, but still has a really solid base to him. And then obviously, like Tim said, what we have with these two guys, Emmanuel Wilson and with Chris Brooks. And I just noticed just now that they're both guys that were once with San Fran that they kind of cut bait. We took their scraps and made them into absolute gems for us. So that's kind of cool. But like Bates or like somebody else said, the running back room is pretty freaking solid. It's going to take a lot for Amar Johnson or Jalen White to crack that.
Yeah. I think Bates is saying ESPN has it the other way around. They probably got Emmanuel Wilson at number 2 and Lloyd at number 3.
As a matter of fact, I think I pulled it this morning. Let me double check here real quick. And let's see. Yep, they do. There it is.
So either way, like, how do you? I mean, give me all of these guys, right? Like, who cares?
And like you said, let them battle it out in camp. And listen, if Marshawn Lloyd beats Emmanuel Wilson out in camp, you're in a damn good spot in the running back.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
And for all the talk we've said about the wide receiver battles at camp, I mean, don't forget about running back.